Alrighty, we're going to do a real sort of bums and tums class today, focusing on these gluteal muscles and doing some deep transverse abdominal work and some recti work, the external muscles as well. So we're going to start just sitting. I'm going to sit on the edge of my bolster. This is called Virasana, opens up the pelvis, and it's not W sitting, so you don't have your feet right out. You have them touch right under. Calf muscles roll out. So it's a stretch right up into the quadriceps, and you want to make sure that your hip flexors, so this area here, is dropping down. So you might need to take an extra folded blanket, maybe even 2 bolsters underneath your bottom so that you're high enough for your knees to be sliding slightly downwards. And we're just going to do a little bit of tilting with the pelvis forward and back for a moment so you can feel the pubic bone dropping down the front of your pelvic floor, and then you can feel your tailbone dropping down to the back of the pelvic floor, like that, seesawing back and forward. And then I'm going to get you to kind of roll your pelvis around so that we can start to feel the sitting bones as well, pressing down, massaging around one direction, other direction. Lovely big massaging, rotational movement around like so. Feeling the 4 corners of the pelvic floor mobilizing. Moving up, down, and around. Okay, just dropping the head and rolling the shoulders and the head around as if you are unwinding a big rope, one direction and the other direction. Let your jaw be nice and relaxed for this. Beautiful. And then a lateral stretch to open up the rib cage, open up the muscles between the ribs. Nice big lateral stretch. Taking a nice deep breath in through the back of your nostrils, chin is drawn in, and feel your ribs opening, especially down here at the bottom part of your lung. That's the way. Exhaling to come up and over to the other side. Inhaling, lovely big lateral stretch, opening up the rib cage. There we go. Let's just do one more of those on each side. Up and over and flowing. Up and over. Good. And I'm just going to get the shoulders open. So one arm across the body, lock it into place, pulling out with the straight arm, pulling back in with the bent arm. Little tilt with the neck. Breathing up through the spine. So we lengthen the spine, breathing out. Just let the shoulders drop. Try to keep your pubic bones slightly dropping downwards, so your sitting bones at the back feel like they are spread and almost slightly lifted. And stretching, and the other way. Arm is straight, lock it into place with the bent arm. Slight tilt of the head up and over. Again, just checking in with your pelvis. The pelvic floor muscles are like a diamond shape. We want the front triangle to be in contact with your bolster, and the back feels like it's just slightly lifted. Good. All right. Now we're going to do some fire breath. So basically we start to very, very quickly scoop up through the lower belly. We get the pelvic floor and the deep transverse abdominal muscles working. We want to have the chin drawn in, head right on top of the neck. So we've got a nice long spine here. We take a deep breath in through the nostrils, and then with the mouth just gently closed, we take some very quick little puffy breaths out through the nostrils. Try it through the nostrils to start off with. Don't worry about the inhalation. That comes of its own accord. You're just going like that. So you might need to blow your nose. If you find you've got a stuffy nose that doesn't work through the nostrils, by all means, just little puffy breaths out through your mouth. So we're going to do that. We're going to do some quick lifts of the deep transverse abdominal muscles upwards, focusing just on the exhalation. Then we're going to take a couple of just regular breaths, let everything relax. And then we're going to take a breath in and a full breath out, as if you've just got a coffee plunger pushing down. The breath goes out, 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 out. We empty the lungs completely, so there is no puff left. And at the end of that exhalation, we're going to draw lower belly up. So we don't breathe in, we just do this on an exhalation. And we feel those ribs expanding out to the side. So our diaphragm is going upwards. And with it, we get this incredible suction through our organs and real toning through those deep transverse abdominal muscles. Okay, so we're starting off with the fire breath. So I'm going to get you to be a nice long position, chin is drawn back, creating that slight constriction on the back of the throat, nice relaxed jaw, gently closed mouth. Take a nice deep breath in, and then we'll start. And relax, just taking some regular breaths in and out, letting your belly be nice and relaxed. Good, and then we're going to take a breath in, breathing out completely, so it's like a coffee plunger. And all the breath go out, all the breath, all of it, all of it, all of it. There's always going to be another little tiny bit there. And then the scoop. Let your belly go. So when we do that breath, it's called full Uddiyana Bandha. It's the basis of the hyperpressive method, and it just draws everything up. It also gets the prana, the life force, moving around the body. But it's great if we're going to be doing a whole lot of core work to, first of all, get our kundalini, our energy flowing around the body. So let's just come off the prop. Leave that to the side for the moment. Take your legs out, pull your toes back, have a nice vibrant V shape. If you find that your tail is now slightly tucking and it's hard to sit up straight, I want you to take your blanket, fold it so it's high enough, and you just put the triangle edge underneath your sitting bones. So your pubic bone is dropping down, but your sitting bones are lifted and slightly spread, and your tail is laid out behind you. And then just interlacing the hands and imagining that you are stirring a big pot. Traditionally, you say porridge, but I quite like a big vat of melted chocolate. Yeah, so one of those big vats of melted chocolate. When I lived in Australia, we had these things called chocolate drops, and you'd go into this chocolate shop called Max Brenner's, and they had these huge vats of dark milk and white chocolate with these big mechanical arms that were moving around like this, and it smelled heavenly. And you'd get a chocolate drop, which is basically a little cup of pure melted chocolate. So there we go. Hopefully, whilst I was talking about the mixing chocolate, you were focusing on that and not about the feeling on your inner thighs, the stretch through those adductors. Let's just make sure we go both directions with our... That's also, if you're feeling very gripey through your tummy, doing that movement's a lovely massage into your intestines and into the uterus. So let's take one foot in, do another lateral stretch, up and over. Oh, just opening the rib cage, opening these inner thigh muscles, the adductors, opening up the sitting bones, prepping for a bit of strengthening. Other side, up and over, lateral stretch. When we go into these lateral stretches, visualize your ribs opening up like a fan. The muscles between the ribs, the intercostal muscles, they work with your diaphragm. So we want them to be nice and open. Otherwise, we have a constricted diaphragm, can't breathe properly, leads to anxiety, leads to tension patterns, leads to pelvic floor issues. So all of this is done for a reason. Slowly coming back up. Take your feet into a zigzag shape. Oh, hang on, like that to start off with. We're going into a zigzag shape. Hands just behind you. Drop the knees to one side. Push the inside of this knee down. Up and over to the other side. Push the inside of the knee down. So we're going right across the front of the thigh, right up into the outer side of the pelvis. Okay, I'm going to do a nasty one in a second, so get ready. And over. Good. So now take your feet to the side. Now I want you to squeeze this bum. This is my right butt cheek. Squeeze it, lift it, roll it forward. Let's do that a couple of times. Squeeze, lift, roll. So the femur, the thigh bone, is literally rolling. The top of it is rolling in the cup of your pelvis. Like that. Okay, so we're rolling forward. And rolling forward. Now stay there. Roll forward, stay there. So now we have a stretch here. We've got a glute activated. We've got the inside of the knee pushing into the mat. Now this is the hard bit. You're going to squeeze your glute and lift your knee off the ground. Flex your toes. Just go with me. And you're going to punch your heel backwards. Punch it backwards. Punch it backwards. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your glute. Your bum will be on fire soon. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Then scratch up your face. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Woo, good. Take that foot in front. Just give yourself a nice little rinse here. Well done. Switching that on. Woo. These are our key stabilizers. So we need to do this stuff. Okay, up and over, rinse it, rinse it, rinse it, rinse it, rinse it, and leave the feet over on this side. Left glute, squeeze and lift and roll and drop. Squeeze and lift and roll and drop. Squeeze and lift and roll. So we've got the hip bone dropping back and the hip bone coming forward, yeah? So it's a lift and roll. Now pause here. Inside of the knee pushing down. We've got the glute active. You need to lean slightly forward towards the bent knee. This is a bit that's hard. Squeeze your bum. Lift your knee off the ground. Flex your toes. And we're doing little donkey kicks backwards. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Lift your eyebrows. Squeeze your cheeks. Squeeze your eyes. Say some swear words. Punch, 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 punch. Boom, 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 boom. And whoo, little rinse and a little pat. Good, well done. Okay, legs out. Long ways on your mat. Toes spread. So remember, the soles of the feet are important. Nice big, fat, hobbit-like feet, important. Nice extended legs. This is called Dandasana, so rod pose. We want to be in like a nice straight L shape. Now, you're going to lift up your sitting bones to walk. Imagine you have a string from the crown of your head attached to the ceiling. All of these muscles are switched on, and do choo-choo train arms. So we're going to lift up our bum and walk, bum walking, like that. And then backwards, take your train arms and do choo-choo backwards. Keep your torso nice and tall, working on the D core muscles, working on your bum, and getting all those muscles warmed up. Walking backwards, keep your toes flexing, stretching, spreading, and forward, keep breathing. You can swear as much as you want, and back. Give me a chair. Yes. Good. Well done. Let's give your bum a little slap here. I think I'm rolling down now. you to grab a brick or your bolster. Just come down onto your back here for a moment. Let your back be nice and relaxed. Let your bum be relaxed. Hands on lower belly, so right down below your tummy button towards your pubic bone. Have your hands here. All right, so we want the back of the rib cage on the mat. If you find that you're flaring here and your chin is tucked up, I want you to draw your chin in, take your head here and see if that makes a difference. If it's still, there's a gap behind your rib cage, take your bolster as well or a rolled up blanket and just prop your shoulders and your head, yeah? Because we really want the back of the rib cage on the ground. So sort yourself out. So back of the rib cage on the ground. We want the top of the hip bone and the base of the rib cage, they sit parallel to each other. So that's important. Now we're just going to work internally for a moment. So externally, nothing moves. Internally, we're going to do the puffy breath out. We activate pelvic floor muscles, so it feels like you're stopping yourself weeing and passing wind at the same time. We draw that activation up through the midline, through the vagina, through the cervix, towards our tummy button, and then we feel the corsetory muscles drawing in. So that all happens on one breath out. And then we breathe in and just let it all relax. So breathing out, switching on, breathing in, let it all relax. Now I'm going to get you to breathe out, switch it all on. That's it. Now breathe in and breathe out, but just keep it switched on. So just keep breathing, but just focus on the puffy breath out and keep that activation. Keep that activation. Keep it going. That's it. And then releasing down. Okay, so that was switching on pelvic floor and then into deep transverse abdominal muscles. Now I'm going to add in the recti muscles, these external muscles that make up the six pack. So it's quite good to have something under your head for this. So I've got my brick here. What we do is we activate, first of all, pelvic floor, then we zip up towards the tummy button and we activate corsetory muscles. And then at the end of the exhalation, we take the head up. So we do a crunch, but not until all the other bits have started. And then we come down and we let it all go again. So it's fluid, but we start with pelvic floor. Breathing out, head up, and then releasing down. So once we start to, well, if you've had a baby or you are in perimenopausal or postmenopausal, what we don't want to do is just do crunches without activating the pelvic floor first. Otherwise, all of the pressure, our intra-abdominal pressure, is going straight down onto pelvic floor. We don't want that. Okay, breathing out. Head raises up. Breathing out. Head raises up. So this is how we get a nice toned external muscles, those recti muscles, by first of all getting the deep internal muscles to work first, strengthen first. This is how we get the recti muscles to come together if we have got any gap there, any diastases recti. Okay, let's try going across the body so we get the obliques as well, the side race muscles. So I'm going to get you to take your left ankle on top of your right knee. Take your right hand just onto the side of your head. Again, we start here and we zip up, but we're just going to then, at the end, as we take our head up, also almost crunch across the body. So breathing out, zip, 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 and as your head comes up, you crunch across and releasing down. Breathing out, activate, zip up, and then across and release down. Starts with a pelvic floor activation, zipping upwards, and release down. Breathing out as you activate. So when you slow it down, you do it properly. It's a lot harder than if you just go and swing your head around. So pelvic floor, zipping up, lower belly, and then head comes up at the end. Okay, let's do that on the other side. Again, start with your pelvic floor relaxed, lower belly relaxed. Deliberate breath out. Activate, activate, activate. Peel up. And again. And release. Peeling up. And release. Breathing out. If you need to go a little bit slower, please do. It's really worth getting your form correct. You have much more impact. And again. Good. Okay, we'll just give that a rest for the moment, but we won't be resting because we're going to go on to our bum instead. Take your feet wide on your mat. Toes are as straight as you possibly can make them. We push our heels into the ground. We bring our bum up off the ground. Just take a moment to feel your bum muscles activated. And then we squeeze our knees and our thighs together. We release them and we come back down and we let our bum relax. So we push the heels into the ground. We lift the bum up. Squeeze, release, and come back down. Relax. Push down, come up, squeeze the knees, release the knees, roll back down, relax. Push down, coming up, squeeze the knees, coming down again and release. So pulsing up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the knees, release the knees, relax. Slowly coming up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the knees, release the knees, rolling down and relax. Again, up, breathing out as you pulse and relaxing down. Press in, so this is working on the glutes, it's working on the adductor muscles, we're working deep into the pelvic bowl here. And also drawing those organs off the pelvic floor. Make sure you're breathing out on the activation. And one more. Good, excellent. All right, so bring your feet back so they're parallel. We're going to, okay, let's just take the head onto the brick one more time. Chin is in. Back of the rib cage on the ground. So make sure you've got that sucking downwards here at the back. Now let's zip up, pelvic floor. Deep core muscles. We're feeling our obliques here. Keep puffing the breath out, so keep breathing, but focus on your exhalations. I'm going to take the feet up and then take them up towards the ceiling. I like to take my arms above my head for this, but see how you go. See what feels good for you. And then we're going to just do like this. Penny farthing bike. Imagine you're sitting on a penny farthing bike and you are cycling. So start relatively shallow and then just see if you can go a little bit deeper. We've got to keep the back of the rib cage down. If you find that it's just not happening, try taking your hands under your pelvis. That can help a little bit. And the slower you go, the lower you go, the harder it is to keep the back of the rib cage on the ground, the harder it is to work into those deep transverse abdominal muscles. Beautiful. Let's just bring those knees in for a moment. Give ourselves a little massage across the sacrum and into the lower back area. Let's try backwards cycling. Okay, so again, you could put your hands under your pelvis or maybe above the head. I'm just going to take that rip away, actually, it's a bit annoying for me. So feet up again. Now, backward cycling. Maybe start with one leg and you scoop upwards. As you're scooping upwards towards your head, you're breathing out because that's the activation bit. And then let's try both. Backward cycling. Breathing out. Make sure back of the rib cage is on the ground. Front of the rib cage is drawing down. Breathing out, and we've got all of this activating, activating, activating. Shoulders, keep them relaxed. Little puffy breaths. Good, and drop yourself into a baby pose and let your belly relax. Grabbing hold of a calves, ankles, feet, whatever you can reach. Relax your shoulders, relax your belly, relax your jaw. So we want to go into that instant state of release, massaging across your spine. Good, 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 good. Okay. This is a good release. I was just going to do one more thing for our obliques. So if you just take your feet down again. Up to you whether you put your head back onto the brick or not. So I'm going to get you to do the same thing. Back of the rib cage stays on the mat. Don't let it flare. We're going to draw up through the pelvic floor, deep core muscles. Have your left fingers just on the edge of your head. And then you just, as you breathe out, you reach down to your ankle. You touch it. And then come back and you reach down. So we're just squeezing these sideways muscles. But we have to breathe out because we want all of this to activate upwards as we crunch into those obliques. Get the chin tucked in. You do need to lift your head a bit, so it's quite nice to have the brick there just to sort of rest on slightly. And then come into the center, just take a moment. Let your tummy muscles relax. And we'll do the other side. So fingers just on the outside, just on the temple here. And we're going to activate pelvic floor, zipping up and touching the ankle. Little puffy breaths out, squeezing the obliques, sideways muscles, squeeze, squeeze. So in your brain, you're going and zipping up, zipping up, zipping up, zipping up, zipping up. Three, two, and one. Well done. Oh, good. Let's roll onto our tummies. Stretch out the tummy muscles to come into a Sphinx pose, like so. Forearms on the ground, tops of the feet on the ground. Pulling your chest forward. Can you feel the stretch in your tummy muscles? Forearms feel like they're kind of pulling backwards on your mat. Shoulders are relaxed. Chin is drawn back. Taking some nice slow breaths here, stretching. Good. Right down that front seam. Let's just go onto the obliques slightly. So drop one shoulder across the midline. So I'm stretching the left side. And then I'm dropping my right shoulder, looking at my left shoulder. And stretching the right side. So we just want to get a little bit of length. And length. Good. Slowly come down, activating the glutes. So scoop up your lower belly, do a little lift up, lower belly from the ground, and then squeezing, getting into gluteus maximus here. Squeeze the glute, one glute to start off with, and then move to the other one. Squeeze the other glute, lifting your foot off the ground as you squeeze. If it's best just doing one at a time slowly, keep with this. Otherwise, if both are relatively awake, we're going to squeeze, 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 squeeze. So it feels like you're kicking, you know, when you are in a swimming pool, when you're learning to swim, and you've got your kicking board and you're holding it, and we're kicking our feet, but via the glutes. So you might have your hands by your shoulders and elbows squeezed in, activating the upper back muscles, just the head slightly off the ground here, focusing on glutes, 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 squeeze, 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 swim, 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 swim. Very good, drop them, toes and heels out. You guys know the drill. Forehead, just resting here, rock the hips from side to side, wiggle your bum, jiggle your bum. Sigh the breath out. Alrighty, so we're just going to come and stretch ourselves back into an extended child pose here. So take yourself back, bum towards your heels. If that doesn't work for your knees, keep your bum a little bit higher. Just stretching out through the spine, opening up the sitting bones. Give yourself a nice lengthening stretch here. Oh. Good. Now, everybody lift your sitting bones and spread them. We just want to open up the glutes and drop your chest. So for some of us, who, especially if you've got a shoulder issue, it's best to have your forearms close, forehead just resting on your hands. Chest drops down, so we want to squeeze that area between the shoulders. Sitting bones lifted and wide, pelvic floor relaxed. If it's fine on your shoulders, try taking your hands out, thumbs up, little fingers down. To come into a puppy dog sort of yawny stretch. Taking a moment to release those glutes. All right, slowly coming up. Okay, so we're going to tuck our toes, come back, sitting bones are wide. As we breathe out our puppy breath, we draw ourselves forward with a nice straight back and just pause with our shoulders on top of our wrists. So we've zipped up lower belly. Come back, breathe in, relax your lower belly. Breathe out, do a scoop. Pausing here, breathing in, breathing out. Now, if you've been doing this for a while, you're feeling stronger through your core, by all means, as you breathe out, draw yourself forward, coming into a plank. I just always want to make sure that we are planking via our pelvic floor and zipping up, not just taking tummy button to spine. Again, it's just regulating that intra-abdominal pressure, breathing out, maybe launching. Good, and one more, breathing out. Very good. You might need to give your wrists a rinse. Take your sitting bones up and wide. Massage the pelvis in a little circle. So just revolving circle. Release the glutes. And then other way. We're going to switch on those deep core muscles again. So this is a really quick, I won't say easy, but a quick way to activate your deep core muscles. Great toning. Take your fists underneath your shoulders directly. Bend your elbows. So the eyes of the elbows, which means the inside of the elbows are facing each other. So you're like an ape, like that. Okay. Toes are tucked. Chin is tucked in. Imagine the ceiling has just dropped down and is sitting on your back. So you've got to draw the base of the rib cage in, and the back of the rib cage needs to be sort of pushing up towards the ceiling slightly. So your back is nice and straight to hold the ceiling. Elbows bent. Now, do your puffy breath out. Start to lift up through lower belly, and then put your fists into your mat, slightly straightening, and then straightening the arms, and see if you can suck your knees just a tiny bit off the mat so that you could slide them together. Keep puffing your breath out. And drop. Fantastic. Elbows on the ground, hands up, give yourself a moment. Releasing belly, release the glutes, release the arms. Take a breath. So it's like you're praying. No more, Linda. That's enough. Unfortunately, you guys are on mute, so I can't hear you. Okay, so slowly coming up. We're going to come onto our knees. You might need a blanket underneath your knees. Okay, tucking toes. We're going to set our posture. Whew. Up and back with your arms. We always want to make sure that the arms are not forward like that. We want to have the chest nice and open. Heels of the hands on the back of the pelvis. Fingers are heading downwards. Elbows are as close together as you can comfortably draw them. Push down with your knees and then up with your pubic bone and your heart center, and keep dialing the pubic bone and the heart center up towards the ceiling, stretching the vertebra of the spine. Don't push your head all the way back, just slightly lift your chin. Take a couple of breaths here. And then I always imagine a string is attached to the crown of my head, the very top of the head, and that string is lifting me up. Chin then draws in, base of the ribcage draws back. We want to go back to that nice aligned ribcage on top of the hips, and then slowly come down. So now you're going to activate these glutes that we have been working on. Hands in the heart center. All right, are we ready? We're going to puff the breath out because we want to activate all of our core muscles as well as bum. And we're going to glide, squeezing glutes, glide up, and then elbows out, and then drop back down again. So breathing out as you glide up, and you squeezing the glutes, squeeze, that's it, and down. Okay. Now, it's quite hard to go all the way down. So initially, and if you've got any knee problems, you're just going to be doing a little pulse here, squeezing through the glutes, but not coming all the way down. Okay, so for some of you whose knees are not so happy, you're not going to be coming all the way down. And squeeze. All right, come down. Well done. Come onto your hands and knees again. Just take a moment. In fact, before we do our ultimate pose here, I'm just going to get you to cat and cow. So lead from your tail, lift your sitting bones, and then tuck your tail and draw your sitting bones towards each other. So just focusing on your tailbone and your sitting bones, lifting them, spreading them, and then drawing them together and tucking. Once you've got the movement through the pelvis, go ahead, ripple the movement up your spine, but always starting at the pelvis. Now breathe out deliberately as you tuck, and then breathe in as you release. Breathing out, puffy breath out to tuck. This is fantastic toning on your tummy and pelvic floor. And breathing out. Good. Come back into your tabletop. Bring your shoulders right over those wrists. Imagine again the ceiling has just dropped down onto your back. Bring your knees together. We want to keep all of this absolutely active. Yeah, all of this is working. There's no slacking. There's activation. Take your left foot out behind you and then squeeze that left glute so that you are having your leg, your ankle, at pretty much pelvic height. Base of the rib cage is in. Now see if you can take your right hand off the mat. Thumb up, little finger down. Keep puffing the breath out, keeping your chin in, so don't lift your head. If that is wobbly, take your hand back down and just slightly move your torso forward. Just focusing on the leg lift. Okay, so keep breathing. Now slowly come down, knees are together. Right foot out behind you and then squeeze the right glute. Keep it active, keep breathing out. Take that left hand up. See how you go with this. Thumb up, little finger down. Keep breathing, chin is in. That right elbow, make sure it's not locked. We want our biceps to be working as well, and they won't if you lock the elbow. And then down, let's go back to the first side again. Heel out, squeeze the glute, lift the hand, keep breathing. Slow, makes it a lot harder. And down, knees together, right heel out, squeeze the glute, and extend. Woo! You are doing a fantastic job. And slowly coming down, knees nice and wide, stretch yourself out, extend to child. Breathe into the lower lobes of the back of your lungs, breathing out to parachute yourself down towards the ground. So just letting the inner thighs stretch, the glutes stretch. And then we're going to roll onto our backs. Rolling onto our backs. Taking a bolster underneath your pelvis straight away if you like having a bolster under your pelvis. Otherwise, we'll just do the figure 4 stretch and you don't need it just yet, so up to you. So this is what we're doing. Ankle on top of the knee, drawing that knee in. If you like having the bolster, this version just takes the organs off the pelvic floor and you can bring the knees a bit closer. Let it all be relaxing, soft breath now. Stretching out those glutes. Very good job. Other side. Stretching out. So it's a nice way to finish a practice, to have the pelvis lifted. Nice way to finish the day as well. And take the feet up towards the ceiling, ankles and wrists massaging in a circle. And then just pausing with the weight of the legs, the weight of the arms dropping into the socket so you feel the back of the shoulders nice and relaxed. You feel the pelvis nice and relaxed. You relax your pelvic floor muscles. Relax the jaw. Give everything a jiggle. So just start to sort of jiggle your fingers and your toes and your feet and hands and wrists and ankles and calves and forearms, thighs, upper arms, and then wriggle your jaw as well. And rinse. And then just flop yourself down for a moment. Palms are up. Pelvis lifted. And with your mind's eye, just allow your internal focus to flow around your body. Swirling around your lower belly, pelvic floor, and buttocks. Flowing down your legs and into your feet, feeling the feet on the ground. And flowing back up through the pelvis and then up into the chest, the upper back, back of the arms, and down into your hands, up through the neck and into your head. Noticing how relaxed you can consciously make the muscles of your face, especially between the brows. Like ink soaking into blotting paper. When we pause at the end of a practice and focus internally on the sensations of the prana, the tingling, the life force, it helps us to absorb all the things we've been doing. We'll find that next time we come back onto the mat, we have that cellular memory and things just get easier and easier. Very good. And sliding that bolster out from underneath you, rolling your back onto the ground, tuck yourself into a little ball, and then rocking, rolling up and down your spine, getting that reboot. Lovely. And then coming to sit. So maybe sitting again astride the bolster, back into that Virasana. Take a moment to release the upper body, swirling head and shoulders, swirling pelvis as well, and then restack. And you want to get the sensation that we had right after camel pose. So everything feels stacked. Chest is open, shoulders are down. Just take a moment, chin drawn in, finding that sweet spot where your Spine feels aligned. And you can feel relaxed and still, mentally saying to your body, thank you, thank you, thank you. Taking a nice deep breath. Take the hands out and up as you breathe in. Hold the top of the breath and then just let it go. Excellent.